Welcome to this week's spelling words, this spelling activity. It's Unit 1, Week 4, and please make sure that you have your zip-top bag, because after you cut your words out, you will be putting them in your bag to keep it home. Make sure you have your pencil, make sure it's sharp, ready to go. Got it? So that you can write. Pair of scissors, I like the blunt type, those are best. And make sure that they're ready to cut. Your spelling book and your spelling words. All right, so it looks like we're going to be doing some R-controlled vowels today. So the first thing that you are going to do, or you might have already done it, is I want your words cut out. So go ahead and cut them along the bottom. What I'm going to ask, though, is keep some of the, possibly. Yeah, you know what, I would keep those, because I'm going to have you do something a little bit later with that. These sides you can get rid of. But R-controlled vowels are kind of difficult, because if you look at these, you're going to notice that the R controlling the vowel is going to make the A or the O, or in other instances, not today, but you'll notice that they will have I's or U's or, the A, E, I, O, U. All of those, if it comes before an R, the R controls kind of how it sounds. And it's kind of weird because they don't have a certain pattern. So I'm going to tell you a couple things that will hopefully help you to understand how to spell them. These are some of the misspelled words that we have. Make sure you cut these out, though, okay? Get them cut out, and then you need to lay them out around the outside of your book. Make sure that you're doing this, because this will help you the most as you are sorting. Do not sort from the page of words. Sort it the way that we're having it sorted, okay? And we'll go over these. As I pick up a word, I want you to find that word and pick it up. You can pause this video at any time so that you can find the word, get something written down, do whatever you need to do so that they are ready for you to write down and say. The second thing that you have to do while we're doing these is make sure that you are saying the words as we write them. As I write them, you say them. Okay? All right, so it looks like we've got an oddball. Looks like we got an R-controlled thing here. There's my heart. That's okay. All right, so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to write Unit 1, Week 4. Make sure that you have that written down. And we're going to do R-controlled, and then we're going to do oddball. So I like to put the oddballs way over on the very end. Oddball, because we're going to write it down here. And this gives me plenty of room to write in, and I can go ahead and put this in my zip-top bag. After we're done with a word, you can put it right in that bag or just set it off to the side for a minute because we'll get it after. But I want you to write R-controlled, and then I want you to put vowel. V-O-W, that was a weird W. V-O-W-E-L. Make sure that you have that written out and then underline these. Okay? And then go ahead and put this in your zip-top bag. Nicely done. All right, so we're going to do this. I'm going to start putting some things on here, and I want you to say the word after I say it, write the word when I say it, and then learn from this, okay? This is my bottom piece. I'm actually going to cut a couple chunks out of here. They're about the same height as your words. And so what I'm going to actually do is we're going to look at some of these and we're going to write some things on here because you're going to use these as your exemplars for your spelling a little bit later. So I'm going to put these down on the bottom and we're going to start our words here. All right? So the first word that I'm going to look for is I'm going to look for Let's use this one right here. Starch. Starch. I'm actually going to go down a little bit, and I'm going to write the word. So skip a line, and I'm going to start with starch. Star, ah. It's got the ah sound. You'll notice that the A and the R are actually one sound. The weirdest thing about this R-controlled vowels is that the R robs the vowel in front of it of its own sound and leaves behind a new sound. So it's got the ah sound, but it's an R. Isn't that interesting? It's an R, so it's starch. Even though that vowel is there, it has that R sound, so it's starch. So make sure that's it. And what kind of a vowel is starch? It's a short A, right? So put that right above starch and put that on there. And that one is going to be your first exemplar from your R-controlled vowel is short A's. So you're going to look for all the R sounds. Okay? Now, let's go to our next word. All right. In fact, no, we're going to go to our next word. The next word we're going to use is, let me see if I can find a good one in here. I don't see one, so let's use this one. Let's try this one. Flare, air, flare. So I'm going to put it underneath here. You're saying these as I'm saying them. Flare. We're going to write it right in the middle. Flare. And that's got an air sound. But isn't that interesting that that's just an AR, but it has that air sound. AIR is usually how we spell air. But we also have ARE and AR. So this is where that R robs the A, and if it's AIR, it robs that of that sound and makes it that R sound, air. So flare. And that is actually a long A. So flare, air. It's actually kind of a long A. It's an air. I know, it's weird. We have such the weirdest language, but it's so much fun because it gives us a lot of different opportunities for these things, for learning new things, and sometimes it confuses us. All right, so I'm going to go to the next one. So we got the short A, we've got the long A, and then we're going to go into the next one. Let's pull this one right here. And this is scorn. Scorn. Oops. Hopefully you didn't write that down there. Hopefully you said it, though, because I need to put something there like I did here, right? So let's put that up here. Let's put scorn. And that's an or. Kind of robs that O of an O sound, makes it an or, and it gives it that R sound. This is actually a long O. Scorn. And so this is the interesting thing about R-controlled vowels, is that it does rob that vowel before it and gives it a new sound. And this is what I want you to know, though, because I'm going to do two other words. I'm going to do coarse, which is an O, or, because we got O-R, O-A-R, and an O-R-E. Let me see if I can find, there's another one here. Coarse. Is it on here? Oh, there it is. And there's an O-U-R. O-A-R, O-U-R, O-R, and an O-R-E, core. So it's very interesting. So I'm going to put these on here, and I'm going to tell you something I want you to know. So I'm going to put coarse, say it, and write it. Underline the O-R, underline the O-A-R. and I'm going to put that one away. And then I'm going to do course, again, O-U-R-S-E. C-O-U-R-S-E. Course. And this is what I want you to know, is because when you hear these two these two words, you might say, well, I don't know it because I could spell either one. What you need to know on R-controlled vowels is meaning. The meaning of the words is important because a C-O-A-R-S-E is rough in texture. So it's rough. It's a coarse. It's like sandpaper is coarse. Everybody understand that? Well, hopefully you do. If not, go get some sandpaper, feel it, you will feel coarse. Now, C-O-U-R-S-E is a little different. It's a route or direction. It's a route or direction that a ship takes, an airplane takes, a road takes, or even a river. It's the course. It's a way of going places. So when you know course as in sandpaper or course as in a river, that's what you need to know is how to spell those according to what their meaning is. And that's the important thing I want you to know. Now, we've got some oddballs over here. And yes, they are odd and they are oddballs. Because you'll get a word like prove. Is that a R-controlled vowel? It's not, because the vowel is not in front of the R. So that would be prove. So if there is not a vowel in front of an R, those go in your oddball. Everybody understand that? Good. So what I need you to know tonight is short A, that R, then, or long A, which is the air. R, air, and then long O, which is the orn. Okay? Read those, say them, write them, and I want you to do every one of these other words. Okay? Now, let's get back to this little piece right here. These are the things that I want you to write on here. Short A, long A, and long O. And these are your exemplars that I want you to use on every time you lay and say your words. Put them in your zip top bag. Every time you lay and say your words, I want these three as your exemplars and oddball. That way you can just lay them and say them and sort them and be happy. From here out, make sure you underlined the OR, the AR, the sound, the vowels, and the R. Underline those. Finish writing all your words, and then make sure you show them tomorrow, okay? Here's my clap. All right, we're done. Good luck.